Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everyone to our overview of how to use Kerrii. So my name's Bernadette Ann, and I'm the VP of Marketing and Support for Heart Solutions, which is the producer of Kerrii. This is our contact information. You can get a hold of us through our website, www.kerrii.com. You can contact, if you have issues using Kerrii, you can get a hold of us at support@kerrii.com. And if you have questions, you can contact us at info@kerrii.com. So what are we going to be looking at today? Well, before I start, I like to kind of ask everyone, what is the focus of your business? It kind of, because what your business focus is kind of helps or determines normally what I show in our demo. But today, because we're having problems with our feed and I'm not able to get any feedback from people who are joining us today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to skip this question and just move right on to the agenda. So what we're going to be looking at are these different types of functionality that we have with Kerrii. So our inventory tracking, the way that we do pricing and packaging, how you track suppliers, clients, create invoices, what's archived, how you use the lot search, our import features, which makes your life a whole lot easier, as well as what help and training we have available for you. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you what Kerrii looks like. So this is Kerrii. This is our opening screen. This is what we call the Maceration Calendar. So every time you log into Kerrii, this is what you're going to see right away. What this tells you is what it is that you currently have sitting around that needs to be processed. These, you can change your dates. So if you're looking and you're going, okay, well, I've created this maceration, I'm supposed to go ahead and produce it on the 19th of October. I won't have any time. You can just move it around until you find a time that actually works for you, that is better for you. If the maceration is on a date that passes, so anything that is overdue and needs to be processed right away will turn red, as well as on the day that it needs to be processed. So that's a really good visual reminder for when you come into Kerrii, hey, these are the things that need to be addressed right away. It's also very handy that if you, we're going to move this over here, but let's say I just decided I want to process it. If you open it up and take a look at it, it will tell you all the information, and then you can go ahead and produce it right here. So we're going to do that. I'm ready for this to go. It's been sitting long enough. It took me about, it didn't take me long to put this, process this maceration. Actually, it's probably closer to 30 minutes. It took a long time to get this one organized. You can see it's already put in the defaults for me for my hourly rate on my labor. You do that through the profile. How much did I get out of this? Well, I am quite fortunate. I ended up getting 500 milliliter yield out of this. I need a lot number. You can enter your own, or you can go ahead and have Kerrii generate one for you. We'll come up with a unique lot number, expiry date. And then if I want this something that I'm going to stock regularly and I want to be notified when I'm out of it, then I would say, okay, yes, this is something that I normally stock. Thank you. And the restock point was when this gets down to about 50 mils, then I want to know. So that's my restock point. And then you hit produce. It says, do you want to produce this maceration? You click OK. And now if we go into our inventory list and we look for that product, we can see there it is. It's automatically been entered in for us. We didn't have to do any extra work. And the purchase date is entered in for us as the date that we go ahead and we produce this product. We can go ahead and edit anything we want into here at any time. You can see it's already also generated a per unit price based on our labor and our raw material costs. So we're going to pop out of here. We're going to get rid of our filter. And you can see this is our complete and total inventory list. So this inventory list contains all of the packaging that you've used to go ahead and create products in Kerrii. And it also has in it any products that you've created yourself. Those are referred to as point of sale items. It has in it listed any bulk items that you've created that you're going to package at a later date as well. And all right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at what needs to be restocked. So if we go to our restock list, this lists for us all of the things that we are low on. What's really handy is we can go ahead and we can sort these by supplier. So we can see they're all sorted by supplier. The name of this company is called Kerrii's Herbs. So anything that we've created ourselves is labeled with our company name. So this is the stuff that we know we need to produce because we're out of it. This is the stuff we know we need to order from these suppliers. And the neat thing is you can go ahead and print this off, and then you can give it to somebody that you're working with on your team, or you can have it sitting there next to your computer as you go to the different suppliers' websites and order what you need. So it's a very handy little tool. We also have a expired list. So if you need to know right away anything that is expired and either should be used up immediately or should be tossed. And we can see here our expiry dates. If once something's expired, the date turns red. And then those expired products, we can move them to the obsolete list. This is a list of things that either it's waste that's been calculated as part of when we've created something, we had some waste left over. And so that is gone ahead and that amount's added to the obsolete list. Or it's stuff that has expired and we can no longer use it, or it's something that got damaged or broken. So the reason we want to have a list of everything that is now referred to as obsolete is because then this information we can give to our accountant and get a nice little tax deduction. So that's really handy too. And so that's all of our inventory items that we have. So what is the next thing that we want to look at? Before I move forward, I just wanted to make a note that anything can be printed in Kerrii. So you can see anytime you see that print button, any of these lists you can print off if you need to share with somebody else or to use as a reference. So let's go to our draft section. So drafts, this is our workspace. This is where we create everything in Kerrii. The nice thing about the drafts is that it means that it allows you to play. So you can enter some things in, mess with it, save it, leave it in drafts, come back to it later, and then tweak it some more if you want to. So, and anything that is saved as a draft, it means that it's just that a draft. So the ingredients are not pulled from your inventory list. So you're not going to affect your inventory counts, but just by messing around with formulas. So it's it's very handy. You can see there's 3 different things that you can make in Kerrii. You can make a formula. And a formula is anything that you're making, and then you're going to package all of it at once. Or what you're making, there is no waste. When it comes to a bulk formula, that's the things that you're going to create if there's some waste that needs to be accounted of at the end. So those are things like creams and salves. Or if you want to go and make a bunch of something and then package it at a later date. So for instance, if you want to make a whole bunch of tea, especially if you have an online store, you're not sure what sizes your customers are going to order. So you can go ahead and make a big batch and then just package it up as customers' orders comes in. So those are the 3 things that you can make. What we're going to do today is we're just going to look at creating a formula. Oh, I forgot to mention macerations. And of course, we've seen those when we first came in. A maceration is just anything that has been sitting for a while and needs to be processed, not right away, but at a later date. So let's go ahead and make some tummy tea. or actually, no, let's just a digestive aid for us. This particular product, if we were making it for an individual, we would choose their first name and last name. If we have a client that we're working with and we're creating a custom formula, we're not today. This is just a standard generic product we're going to put on our shelves. How many batches do you want to make of this? Well, I'm going to make like 4 batches. I want 4 bags of tea. In my world, 1 batch equals 1 bag of tea. In your world, it may be different, but Kerrii gives you that option. You can also make portions of a batch. So if you want to half a recipe, you can do that as well. But today we're going to do 4. So I'm just going to grab some stuff. If this is not something you would put in a tea, that's fine. I don't have an argument about the contents of the tea. We're just throwing some stuff together for purposes of the demo. So we're going to add 1 more ingredient. Let's grab, what else do we have here that we can grab? Oh, sure. Let's throw some wild yam in it for the fun of it. Okay. I know this is a disgusting tea, but as I said, it's just for demonstration purposes. You can see that if you don't have enough of that particular product in stock, Kerrii will let you know. If you and I know we're not always great about entering things into our inventory. Sometimes we might get an order and we haven't entered it in yet. You can see that right from here, you can go ahead and add an inventory item. So you don't have to leave this screen if you forgot to enter something in, and you can also adjust amounts. So it's like, you know what? I know for a fact I have 100 mils there, or I have 100 grams. Yeah, 100 grams. So I'm going to hit save. And so now it's fine. It's going, okay, I'm happy. So of course I can take it anytime and I can save this information, and we can see it shows up here in our drafts list. And so then I just click to go back to it. And then I can go ahead and do some more tweaking if I want to. Until you package and produce this product, you're not committed to it, and it won't affect your inventory amounts. So you can play around. So let's go ahead and package this now. So remember, we always need to account for our labor. So it usually only takes me a very short time to throw together some tea. And now we're going to look at packaging. Now, the neat thing about Kerrii is you can package the same product in different size containers. So and each time you go into it, each time you click that build packaging button, you're creating packaging for a different container. So in this case, I want to package 2 different containers. I want to have 1 150-gram bag of tea, and I want to have 2 75-gram bags of tea. So I'm going to go into the package builder. I'm going to have just 1 thank you and I'm going to use a 1-pound coffee bag for this. You can see it's turning red. It's letting me know that my packaged amount does not add up to the default amount the container will make. And then of course, I'm not going to put 454 grams of tea into this bag. I'm only going to put 150. So now it's happy. I've packaged 150 grams. I'm going to go ahead and add the label to it. And it's all good. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this to our packaging. So here we have 1 package of tummy tea. It's 150 grams, and it's reminding me not everything is packaged. So let's go back, because remember, in a formula, we have to package everything. So let's go here. Now I want 2 packages, and I want a 1/2-pound coffee bag. Let's throw a front label on it. This is 75 grams in each bag, and we're adding it to the packaging. Boom, there we go. So here we have now, we've taken this formula. We've got 300 grams of tea in our formula because we made 4 batches. And now we've gone ahead and we've decided to package it with 1 150-gram bag tea and 2 75-gram bags. Perfect. You can see it's calculated a retail price for me based on the cost of the materials that were used, the cost of the packaging, the cost of the labor, and also whatever my overhead is and my markup. These defaults were entered in automatically. They're set here in the profile. You can change them. I usually don't recommend you change your overhead here. If you want to, you can change your retail markup. So you can make it 150 if you want instead. When you change it here, it changes the markup for all of the items, okay? And if I want to find out how much money I'm actually making, I select, so if I want to know how much I'm making on that one bag of 150 gram, I can hit the price breakdown button here and it lets me know. So I know that I am making on total $57.53 on that bag of tea. It's freaking expensive tea. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to close this up and we're going to take another look at our, oh, and that's because that one herb that I have is 59 cents a gram. It's a very expensive herb. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is now that I know what that price breakdown, and I'm going, you know, even though that one herb costs me that much money, I can't charge $95.88 to my customers. They'll never go for it. So what you can do is you can actually set the price individually. So I can click set price and I can say, you know what, I can probably, I know I'm gonna have to take a hit on this one. I can probably make about, charge them, they'll probably go with $50. So we're gonna say, okay. So now I have a retail price of $50. If I click on my price breakdown button, it's now telling me that I'm only making $11.64. I've only got a 30% markup, but you know, I'm good with that. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'll leave it at that. You'll notice that this here doesn't change, and that's because this, when you change this, it affects both of them at the same time. We're only dealing with one, right? So let's go down here now. We're going to close that and we're going to go ahead and fix the price on this. So let's make the price here 35. Okay. And check our price breakdown for that. I'm making $15. I'm happy with that. So now we have our pricing sorted. We're comfortable with it. We know what we're doing with that. The next thing we need to do is take this product and put it in a place where it's available to be purchased by our customers. To do that, we need to add it to a space called the store shelf. So the store shelf is a separate space within Kerrii, and that space is the public facing space of your product. Now, why do we have that? Well, as you know, commodity prices change depending on what's happening in the market. So one month you can have one price for a raw material, the next month it could be something completely different. So what we do to go ahead and make sure that your customer is always seeing the same price and the same kind of public face on the products that you sell is we have something called the store shelf. So anything that you see in the store shelf, that is what shows up on your invoices. And that is what the customer will see when you sell it to them versus what's sitting in your inventory list. So if you need to move to change things, prices go up and down, it's not going to make any difference as far as your customer is concerned. So let's go ahead and we need to add this product to the store shelf. We need to attach it to an item in the store shelf. So how are we going to do that? Let's click our button here. We happen to have an existing product that is 150 gram tea, and it has a little bit different name, but it is the same product. And it's this our tummy ache tea. Oh, sorry, that's not for that one. It is for this. Yeah, that one, correct. Okay, so it's our 75 gram bag of tea. And where is it? Here it is. It's our tummy ache tea. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. So notice how it changed this price. That's because the tummy ache tea had a price of $25. So it will override anything that happens here so that your customers continue to see the same thing all the time. With this one, I don't have an existing item yet, so I'm going to say add to shelf. And we're going to say new item. And so this is the tummy ache tea, but this one is the 150 gram. And I'm going to throw a SKU on this. Okay, and then that's the price. I can, of course, change the price if I want to. It will, by default, put in the price that's here because this is a new item. I am going to click save. And then it's going to let me upload an image. So let's grab, oh, sorry, it's taking me to the wrong spot. We won't do that today, but you can go ahead and upload an image so that you have it sitting in your store shelf. And then I'm going to just close this now. So here it is, our 150 gram bag, and click OK. So there we have our 2 items. They've been added to the store shelf, so they're ready now. They can be sold to customers. The last things we need to do is make sure we have a lot number. You can either enter your own or have Kerrii generate a unique one for you. Then you need an expiry date. And if I want this to be regularly stocked, I would click here and then enter in at what point I want this to be notified that I'm getting low on this item. We're not going to do that for now. And then I'm going to click produce. It says, do you want to produce this? Yes. So it's no longer sitting in my draft list. But if I go into my inventory list and I look for tummy, oops, if I spell it right, that would be good. And here's our tummy tea 150. We can see we have 1 bag of that, and our tummy tea 75, we have 2 bags. So very handy little tool. So, and if we look into our store shelf, remember we talked, this is our public face of our products. And we look for, where is our tummy ache tea, which is here. We can see that in our tummy ache tea, we have this one, this 75 grams. This is the inventory list item that is now attached to the store shelf item. So this is what's going to appear on the invoice. This is what you see in your inventory list. And we also created a new one, which is 150 grams. Here we go. And you can see the quantity here. I have 2 of those. I only have 1 of that. This right here, when you have your online store, this is what will show up in your online store. We are working on integrations right now with online stores. At the minute, we're starting with Square. And that's really where the store shelf really shines, because that is the area where all of that inventory gets updated and the integration happens between those Kerrii and the different other applications. So that's the store shelf. The other thing, oh, I always forgot to show you about the store shelf, that's kind of neat, is you can also create services. So if you wanted to have, let me just look at the list here. If you, for instance, wanted to have a service like an herbal consult to put on, and you want to put this on your invoice, you can go ahead and create that here. I don't know why that DD is there, but we'll fix that. You can see this one's a service. This is also where you can go ahead and where you'll find point of sale items that you buy from other people. You don't do anything to them and you turn around and resell them. So for instance, our chakra bracelet right here. You can see this is another item that we have. We didn't create this. We purchased it. It's sitting in our inventory list as chakra bracelet, but it shows up here as chakra bracelet from Peppermint and Pine when it is on the invoice. So that's our store shelf. The next thing I want to show you is our clients list. So this is a list of all the different clients that you have. If you click on one, you can see you can put all their contact information as well as notes. So notes are things like allergies or that they have medical conditions or medications. This is the information that you want to have available to you when you go ahead and create a new formula for them. It lists down here any formulas that you've created for that individual specifically. So remember when we created the formula for our tummy ache tea, and it's had an option where we could go ahead and select first name and last name, and we chose to leave those blank. If we had actually selected that person's name, that would have taken and attached that formula to that individual. And then when you wanted to find that formula again, if you wanted to know, geez, what did I create for this person? It's all listed right here. And you can just click on one of those formulas and it will open it up for you so you know what you made for them. What's really handy about this is if I want to remake it, if I need to refill the formula, all I have to do is click copy and it automatically creates another new formula. If I want to double check what their medical conditions were before I continue, if I want to tweak this, add something else or substitute something, I can click view client and there it tells me they're allergic to ragweed. So if I do any tweaking here, what I should probably be doing is getting rid of this chamomile out of their formula because they may be reacting to it. Okay, so that's a really nice little feature. And then, of course, if you hit save, you just go through the process of creating this all over for them again. So we're just going to pop right out of this. So that's our client information that we have. The other thing I want to show you is suppliers. So we also list all of your supplier information as well, so you can find out quickly who you need to contact if you have questions or issues or need to reorder. Then I'm going to show you next is our invoices. So Kerrii has an invoice feature that allows you to generate accounting level invoices. So you can use Kerrii just to keep track of all of your income for accounting purposes if you wish, because we have that ability to go ahead and add services and other things on your invoices. It does a great job of that. However, if you're using another product to generate your invoices like QuickBooks or Square or something like that, unfortunately, you're still going to have to create an invoice if you want products that you have sold to people, if you want those amounts updated in the inventory list, because that's how Kerrii keeps track of what is sold. So anything that is sold, if you want those items updated in the inventory list, you do have to create an invoice. Now we are working on integrations. This process will be done automatically, but for now, we just have to do it the old-fashioned way. So if I'm selling something to somebody, so I'm going to hit new, and let's choose our dear person, Miss Burdette. And it gives us our notes on what allergies and medical conditions they have. So we make sure we don't pick something that's inappropriate. They may have requested something and then we go, oh, right, you shouldn't be taking that. So we're going to give her some calming tea. Now you can enter in a percentage of discount, or if you want to go ahead and add a discount that is an amount versus a percentage, you can do that this way. And I'm going to take -2. So I'm going to take $2 off so you can see it adjusts everything for you. These tax amounts are defaults that are set up in your profile over here. You can add shipping as well. All right, so we've got our discount that's working. And then you choose your payment type, whether you want cash, credit. This is cash, and then you hit save. Oh, I almost forgot the notes section. So if you want to, for instance, add dosing instructions, right? So you can enter that here. And then you're going to hit save. So now you have your completed invoice. You can go ahead and print it. So you can print the invoice off for the client or the customer, or you can go ahead and print off a merchant copy. So I recommend that everyone does this because when you print off the merchant copy, you'll notice that there's a disclaimer line, which you set up in the profile, and then there's also a signature line. So this is your CYA. What this is this is your little disclaimer. Normally you'll put stuff in here like don't stop taking your regular medications, let your doctor know that you're taking herbs. You acknowledge that you have let me know that you're pregnant, about any allergies or medications you're taking. So it's all of that legalese that we have there to make sure that the communication and the responsibility has been clarified between ourselves and our clients. So you print this off, you have them sign it and date it, and then you keep this copy in your records. Well, the invoice, of course, is for the customer or the client. And that's how invoices work. Now, if you're in a situation where you have an online store or you have a physical store or a market, and you've got to keep track, you want to keep track of stuff, but you're not selling it to a particular individual, then what we suggest you do is you just create a walk-in invoice for a walk-in client, or you could call it Market, or you can call it Etsy for your Etsy store. And at the end of the day, you create one invoice, and on that invoice, you put all of the stuff that you sold. And then that particular invoice for that day, that's your daily sales for that particular sales funnel, or that particular, yeah. So very, very handy way of keeping track of things. And of course, once the integrations are done, which will be sometime early next year, then all of that will be done for you automatically. So we've got our invoices done. And let's take a look now at our archive. So our archive is right here. The archive, it keeps track of all of the formulas, bulk formulas, and macerations that you create. And the reason that is so darn handy is if you want to remake something, all you need to do is go ahead and click copy. And now you can go ahead and remake it. If you need to tweak it or add different things here and there, you can do that, but it's very, very handy. You'll notice it also gives you a production summary. So it lets you know the specifics about how many hours it took for you to create this formula, what the hourly rate was that you used, what the lot number for it was, as well as the production, the date that you produced it. So really handy information to help you manage your business. Now, the next thing I want to show you is our lot number search. This is used in the case where you need to track where a particular ingredient was used. So let's say you happen to get in an order of product, raw materials from a supplier, and you get a contact call from them saying, hey, I need to recall this because it's been contaminated with something. So that can strike a lot of fear into the hearts of a lot of herbalists, because then they have to sit down and go, where the heck did I use it? So this is really nice because all you need to do is enter in the lot number of the product. It will give you a little description of the item to make sure you've got the right one, and hit search. And what it will do is it will go through, it will find for you all of the things you have listed in your inventory that used that product. That product was part of their ingredients. So you know this all has to be pulled from your shelf. It will also tell you who you sold that product to. If you sold it to a particular client, of course, if it was like a Walkin or Etsy, you won't be able to track it down. But if it's a client you did a custom formula for, you'll be able to do that. In that case, it wasn't sold to anybody particular. We have in drafts, it will list for you all of the products that you're thinking that you're working on. So you can go ahead and take that ingredient out of your draft formula. And if you have anything macerating that has one of those ingredients, it lets you know that as well, so you can pull it out. Very handy tool, saves a lot of panic, and it makes sure that you're able to go ahead and responsibly track what's happening with your ingredients. Now, this is a really great tool, and I know a lot of you guys are looking at, this is amazing, this is wonderful, and then you're looking at your inventory list that you currently have sitting in a spreadsheet. And you're going, this darn thing, I've got thousands and thousands of items. How am I gonna get all of this into Kerrii, one little item at a time? Thankfully, we have something called an import feature. So if you go into our profile, remember this is where we set all those defaults we talked about before, that including the disclaimer. Right here where there's an import data button, and the process is very simple. You download a template. You can import clients, inventory, or suppliers. We don't import formulas because, of course, they're linked to a whole bunch of different things and it would make a big mess. But you're going to be creating and generating those one at a time anyway. It's not as quite a big of a list for most people because they create them as they go, compared to needing to have all your inventory, clients, and suppliers in the system. So what you do is you just download your template. The instructions are right here, and they're also in the help files. Once you've downloaded the template, then you go ahead and you pick what you're going to import and import it into the system. Fairly simple and straightforward, saves you a ton of time. Lastly, I wanted to introduce you to our help and training resources. So we have a separate website, which is super handy. It's got this wonderful search feature. So if you hit put in one term you're looking for, or you want to know everything about lot search, it will go ahead and it will show you all the different places where those terms show up in the help file. So you don't have to go through sections one at a time to find what you're looking for. Also, if you find that you just want to know how, have an understanding of how Kerrii works, you can go here and then it explains to you all the different ways that Kerrii functions, so you have a good understanding of how to use it before you move forward. And then we also have really easy to access our getting started section so that you can go ahead and step by step get working with Kerrii. We have, you can also, if you want to, like right now, if you go to how Kerrii works and you go to our how data managed section is, you can see there's a little video right there. If you just want to know all the videos we have available, you can just click videos, it will show them to you. As well as if you want to know what documentation that we have available, you can click here, it'll show you where what documentation we have. This information is constantly being updated all the time. Oh, sorry about that. So do come back every once in a while. If there's something here that you need to know and it's something that you need to know, it's not here, you can contact us at support@kerrii.com and we will make sure that you get that information. We also provide, if you email us and we aren't able to kind of solve the problem or figure out what's going on with you just through an email, we also do video calls as well. So our support is fairly comprehensive to make sure that you are able to not only get Kerrii up and running, but you are also able to make sure that your business is running as effectively as possible while using this tool. We do not want you to have downtime, and we do everything possible to make sure that things run smoothly for you.